everyone. I have with me Dr. Sushma Kulkarni here, who's a Vice Chancellor at Nipur University. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
So, my first question to you would be how do you see the evolution of infrastructure procurement practices in India in the past decade?
yeah. So past decade has seen lot of changes. Like when you see, it was more of traditional. The contracts used to be a design. One person would do. The build part would be done by other contractors. But now the scenario has changed. It is EPC contract, so engineering, procurement, and construction, everything goes together. Or it is hybrid annuity model or triple P model. So it has really changed the way the material is procured. Again, another factor which is important is the modular construction has also come with reference to the in situ construction. So modular construction also has changed the way the fabricated items are purchased on site. And then there are other technologies like softwares are being used. There is ERP system which brings a lot of transparency. Frauds can be avoided. There is AI which is coming in, artificial intelligence. There is blockchain technology. So I think it's changing the landscape.
Okay, so great to hear from you. So, as we know, you are a researcher and an academic. So, when we speak about civil engineering construction, so how I mean civil engineering syllabus as such, so how is it adapting to meet the evolving needs of urban infrastructure in India?
Yeah. So NICMAR University being in construction, real estate, infrastructure and project management sector, uh, we are really sensitive to the needs of the industry. What we do is during our regular review process, we study the industry trends, the emerging trends. We call the industry people and take their inputs. So based on that, like we have introduced a lot of softwares which the industry is using, like BIM, building information modeling, or like Visilean, which is for waste reduction. Then how you can have net zero waste on the site, sustainability practices, ProSys type of software or ArcGIS. So all these softwares merged with the planning tools help to make our graduates who are very much fit into the industry with the latest technologies.
So the third question would be like as we speak about academic institutions today. So how can the academic institutions and construction industry collaborate together or work together to effectively upskill people and on the research as such in the construction industry?
Yeah. So upskilling is something which every industry has been talking to us, and that upskilling will happen when we have those technologies on our university. So, like we have now procured 3D printer, which is a full size printer, and so if the students are exposed to 3D printing technology, where they can construct houses, so they can do a lot of research. What should be the mix of concrete? Okay, so that is really creating avenues for research to the students, and it will help to upskill our students for the latest in the industry. Similarly, as I told you, a lot of softwares like BIM, Process, or Primavera. So all such softwares are preparing them uh, to be more hands-on engineers when they pass out.
Great. So, as a person who has a particular interest or specified interest in concrete technology and construction management, so how do you think the innovations in these fields can, accelerate procurement?
Yeah, so as you know that around 50 to 60% of the cost of any construction project is construction materials. And in that construction material, the material related to making concrete, that is cement, sand, aggregates, admixtures are new in the market. So if these three components uh, are treated in a different way, so now we see prefabricated structure. We see a lot of equipments, machineries which are coming up that they will develop the product and give you. So it will be precast product. So you give the AutoCAD drawing into the system and then you get the defined precast product. So it will change the procurement scenario because we don't have to now procure individual materials, but we can directly procure the fabricated material which is made in a controlled environment. So the quality, time aspect, So any project has time, cost, quality. These are the three components. So if you control the procurement, the time, cost, quality is one of the important parameters which will be controlled.
Okay, so my last question to you. So, as a champion of women empowerment in the construction industry, so what steps do you think we can take to increase participation of women in procurement areas such as project management and construction leadership and all that?
Yeah, yeah, that's an
We
interesting.
would really like to know.
Yeah, it's an interesting question, and we work quite a lot in our university to promote that gender balance. So, initially, to attract the girls into the system, there are lots of scholarships, so the girls can take scholarship. Generally, like the I will not say it's a myth. To some extent, it is truth also that civil engineers have to go out on the site, take that site experience, work with the labor, and it is little bit of a tough type of job. But then we have to break the myth that girls can't do it. So women can equally do it. That's very important. So we do that work in our university through our gender club. We inspire our girl students. We bring speakers who are actually ladies who are controlling the whole site. They are leading the site by doing everything on the site. So they are the project managers there. So it helps them to realize themselves in that role and a feeling that I can do it. That's important. Whether male or a female, they all face same problems, but maybe with girls it is more of security or having hygiene issues or washrooms on site. But I think now the construction sites have become quite sensitive, and it comes under the safety and health provisions that every site has to provide such washrooms for girls also. So if you take care of security, hygiene conditions, I think any girl can do equally good as a boy is doing. It's only in the society. The society has to accept that change. The recruitment managers have to accept the change. And the HR professionals of the construction companies should provide them facilities as and when required, which are typical of a woman, like a maternity leave or post delivery, the child care. So if those things are taken care of, any woman can make a good career in the construction sector. Right.
Very vividly and beautifully put. Thank you for that, ma'am, and thank you for your time.